What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Hogwarts Legacy in 2022, what we can expect, kind of a roadmap, and just kind of my thoughts on the game. I believe I did this last year, and this is part of a series I like to do at the end of every year. Really, I've only done it, 1 or 2 years, where I kind of talk about different franchises, different games, different movies, and talk about, what I kind of see, from them in the next year. Okay, so I've done this on a couple other games so far. Hopefully, by the time you guys are watching this one, if you want me to talk about any other game or movie or anything like that, leave it in the comments, and I can, for sure do it. For Hogwarts, it's a little bit different, right? Because I've done games like Skull and Bones and Sly Cooper, right, where it's like we don't know. Like, the game probably isn't going to release next year, so it's more of like, well, what do we see from them? An announcement. For Hogwarts, it's a little bit different, right? Because the number one thing we expect from this game in 2022 is to release. So if it doesn't do that, obviously that is the biggest problem. But no, I mean, I guess there is technically a fork in the road, right? Because there are two options. Either, and they're pretty simple, the game either releases next year or it doesn't release next year. And I guess what we would get from the game would change depending on that. You know what I mean? At this point, I'm not giving like my odds, but I feel like January 1st makes a lot of sense to drop a Hogwarts Legacy trailer, by the way, because of the, returning to Hogwarts thing on HBO Max, which I cannot wait for. I can't wait to watch it. But, you have that. Really, they could hide behind that if they wanted to. If they wanted to, like, look at it that way, they could, like, add to the celebration of Harry Potter if they want to do it on that day. But I guess the bottom line is I would expect a trailer for Hogwarts Legacy in 2022 very early in the year. Whether it's January 1st or just sometime in January or February, I really think early on in the year, you got to show the game in some level. I still think there's a time where they're gonna go silent again, which is actually unthinkable right now, right? Because they've been gone for so long. And I guess it doesn't have to happen, but I would imagine, like, you show a trailer January or February, and then the game comes out like in November, which again is where I'm gonna always stick to, okay? Because it's either going to come, in my opinion, it'll either come out in November or it's coming out in 2023. And I don't even want to think about that second option. So for me, it's November. If you announce a trailer the first 2 months of the year and the game comes out in the 11th month, I think there still is like a 3 to 5 month period where they could go silent. So that's, in terms of, what to expect from them. That's kind of what I would expect. I would expect something to show the game is alive, right? Honestly, a gameplay trailer. It's got to be a gameplay trailer. We did get gameplay elements in that first trailer, but we need like where you can clearly, the naked eye can tell that it's gameplay. It's coming straight from somebody, having a controller in their hand, right? So you have that. Maybe you give the release date. Hopefully, actually, you give the release date. And then you probably, you do your media interviews and stuff. That'll happen. Oh, the gaming journalists will obviously attack you. That'll definitely happen, right? And then that part will continue, but everything else will stop for, again, like I would say, maybe 3 or 4 months. You could come back. I really think, and I'm talking to God, I guess, in this way, E3 makes so much sense. And everybody's saying it, right? For WB. You got Lego Star Wars, which may or may not come out before E3. Gotham Knights, which may or may not come out before E3. But Suicide Squad definitely won't, right? So you have Suicide Squad. You got Hogwarts. You got Wonder Woman, okay? You got NetherRealms game. I mean, you have Multiverses, right? The fighting game. You have all of these games that you could potentially do something with. You have enough to do a little 30, 40-minute presentation at E3. You didn't do it last year. You were going to do it the year before, and you backed out. Oh, obviously, everybody backed out because of the stuff around the world, but that's the situation. So I'd really hope and want them to do something, for the love of God, in that, summer period. Stop hiding behind DC fandom for the DC stuff and then just having your other things come out like once every 15 months. Start like combining them, in my opinion. So now, again, if we're trying to like build a roadmap, I honestly think it makes sense to do gameplay trailer, okay, first couple months. Maybe you give a release date, maybe you don't, or at least you make it still known it's coming out this year, 2022, right? Then you take a couple months off. Then you have another thing like E3 time, or even over the summer. I mean, again, like if Hogwarts is supposed to come out in the fall, the summer, no matter what, whether it's at E3 or not, you're going to push it. It's going to start being out there. You're going to show more snippets of it. You'll have the press play it in some sort of like preview event. Like all of that stuff will happen. You know what I mean? That's true. That literally is what happened. So I think that would happen over the summer, which would make for a very exciting summer, in my opinion, a very busy summer, as opposed to what summers for games normally are, which are mainly dead. And then in the fall, that's, when you go at it. Now, again, depending on the game, some games push themselves in terms of, like, what they're showing you. Insomniac Games likes to really, really, like, for, like, a month straight, like, to push, that their game is coming. Even, like, Halo this past, couple of weeks, right? That had a lot of push going into it. So you could see that happening in, like, September, October, and then the game releases in November. So that's my hopeful roadmap. I guess my non-hopeful roadmap would be we still need a trailer. I still, like, even if the game comes out in 2023, I still think within the first couple months of 2022, you need to show us something. Because then you could start. It's hard to make the argument that they showed it too soon because they really thought it was going to come out earlier. You know what I mean? It was just a lot of delays that hurt it. So I don't really know if they could have stopped that, but I still think, because now we're on what, 15 months, and the next month will be 16 months. So, like, you're going to keep going. You're going to enter, like, a year and a half. You need to show it. After about a year of silence is fine, but then you need to, like, do something else, and then you can go away for, like, another year if you're, like, in, like, a 5-year, development thing. I think that's kind of how you should do it and how most games actually do it in reality. So we'll have to see, but I would say no matter what, we should get something in the first couple months, and then it either comes out late next year or it comes out in 2023. I know I'm not being ignorant to the rumors. Like, I've covered the rumors, obviously, right? That the account NGT thinks it comes out summer or end of 2022. Like, I like that idea. I mean, that's great. But what I would say is, you think about who's making it. You think about the track record of delays. Let's just push what he said, because he said that now. So in 6 months, it could easily be pushed to, instead of summer and end of 2022, now it's end of 2022, early 2023. You know what I mean? So it just got pushed like like another quarter from what he said. That's what I honestly am just assuming, just so I don't get hurt mentally, you know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my second channel or support us on Patreon or YouTube memberships, links for them all are in the description below. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope to see you all on the next video.